Hello students, welcome to your marketing class. In today's lecture, we would be discussing unit number 1, that is product. In very brief, the product mix and its elements, that is the branding, packaging and labeling. Now first of all, the meaning of product mix. As we has also discussed in our previous lecture regarding the product, meaning of product and what product mix is. So product mix is generally combination of various tools, that is the combination of decision regarding the planning, developing and producing the right type of product and services for the consumers. Now in this, the marketer must thus focus on what a product or service does for a customer, that is the utility or benefit that a product provides to a customer. Once that is analyzed, that means once they have analyzed the need and want of the customer and what actually product or services are required by the customer, then a layer of values can be added to provide a greater satisfaction to the customers. Now there are 3 layers of categories that are given to the product. First level is the basic benefit that a buyer seeks in a product. For example, if a buyer is purchasing a car, so he is getting the satisfaction of an automobile transportation through which he can commute easily. The second level layer is that what a customer expects, that is in terms of various features when they buy a product. For example, if that person is buying a car, so he is not only just buying a car, but what features that car is giving, maybe the fuel efficiency, desired mileage, etc. Third level is the augmented product level, that what extra features are added in a particular product so that we can attract the customers. So features that can be added by marketers in order to exceed customer expectation. For example, now we are selling a car with good fuel efficiency, desired mileage, plus the extra feature that we are giving is that you can buy that car through easy EMIs or finance options are also available. So these are the 3 levels of layers that are given by the marketer. Now from the customer's point of view, customer seeks 3 types of benefit. First is the functional benefit. For example, if a person has purchased a motorcycle, so the benefit that person is getting is of the transportation facility. Second is psychological benefit, that is need for prestige and esteem. Third is social benefit, that is acceptance from a group that yes, that person is also having a motorcycle. So this is what actually product mix is. So these are the 3 elements of product mix, that is branding, packaging and labeling. So we would be discussing one by one these 3 elements of product mix. Branding. Now for what actually branding is? Branding is the process of giving a name or a sign or a symbol, etc. to a product. That means whenever we are giving an identity to our product, that is known as branding. Now that identity could be in the form of a name or a sign or a symbol or maybe a combination of all these things. Now these are few terms that are related to branding. First is the generic name. Now generic name basically refers to the name of the class of the product. For example, book, toothpaste, tire, pen, shoes. So these are the generic products. When we give them a particular name, that becomes a brand name. Second is branding. The process used to create a distinct identity of a product. It is the process of using a name, term, symbol or design individually or in some combination to identify a product. Third is brand. Now brand is the name, term, sign, design or some combination of the above used to identify the product of the seller and to differentiate them from those of the competitors. As you can see in the diagram also, that brand name versus generic, that means if the brand name is known to you, then you can specifically buy those products, but if the brand name is, there is no brand name, then it would be sold in a specific or a generic name, that is no name is mentioned on the chips and you would be just saying that please give me a particular chip. Now we can also see certain logos or signs here through which we can recognize a particular brand. Then brand name is that part of brand that can be spoken. For example, Adidas, Reebok, Apple, LG, Samsung. So these are the names that can be spoken. Brand mark, part of the brand that is in the form of symbol, design, color scheme or lettering that cannot be uttered but can be recognized. As you can see that we sometimes we cannot utter that word, that symbol, but we can recognize them through the brand marks that are being given to the products. Then what is this trademark? Brand or part of brand that is given legal protection against it used by the other firms. So when we give up legal protection to our product, that is known as a brand trademark. So as you can see in the picture also, like three marks are given. C is for the copyright, TM is trademark, and R is the registered trademark. So that part that is registered, that is known as your registered trademark, and just TM is a trademark for which the registration is not necessary. So basically when we are writing this TM, that means that we are just using this trademark and it has not been registered. But when we are using this R in a circle, that means that this trademark has been registered. Advantages of branding. Now, what are the advantages of a branding to the marketers and to the customers? Now, first we'll study that what are the advantages of branding to the marketers. Now, first advantage is that it enables product differentiation. That means you can easily differentiate your product from the product of your competitors. So it helps the organization in distinguishing its product from its competitor, and you can basically ensure and secure also the controlled market for a product. Second is helps in advertising and display program. Now with the brand name, advertising become more effective as it not only makes people aware about the features of a product but also about brand which can provide these benefits. So through this advertising, basically you are informing the customers that what actually your product, your brand is providing to you or to the customers. Then third is differential pricing. Now this branding enables the firm to charge higher prices for its products than its competitors, because if customers like a brand and become habitual of it, they do not mind paying a little higher price for it. As we all know that some products or some brands are very expensive, but still we buy those brands, we buy the products of those brands. Why? Because of the loyalty towards that brand. So in this way the organizations may charge higher prices because of this brand loyalty of the customers. Then ease in introduction of a new product. A new product can easily be introduced under a known brand and it is likely to get an excellent start. For example, now the Samsung can extend the brand name of its television to washing machines, microwave, oven, etc. Now the advantages of branding to the customers. First is that it helps in product identification. Now the customers can easily identify the product. For example, if a customer is satisfied with the services or with the features of a particular brand, so every time whenever he is buying that particular brand, though he will not check the authenticity or he will not inspect it every time. Once he is satisfied with the services of a brand, he will become a loyal customer of that brand. Then ensures quality. Now branding ensures a particular level of quality to customers. This builds up confidence of customers and increases their level of satisfaction. Then status symbol. The brands become the status symbols of the customer. Some brands become status symbol due to their quality. For example, Puma, Adidas, Mobla, etc. So the consumers of these products feel proud and enjoy the status. So these are few advantages of branding to the marketers and to the customers. Characteristics of a good brand name. Now these are few characteristics that a good brand name should have. First is that the brand name should be easy to pronounce, spell and remember. It should be short also. For example, Lux, Dettol, Nirma, Surf, Vim, etc. Then if possible, the brand name should be able to suggest the benefit, uses, purpose, quality or performance. For example, Ujala suggests brightness, Hajmola suggests digestion, and Sunsilk suggests hair shine like sun and softness of silk. Then the brand name should be distinctive or unique. For example, Thumbs Up, Zodiac, Kodak, Safari, Synthol, then the brand name should remain constant for a reasonable period of time in order to gain popularity. It should be capable of registration and legal protection. Then the brand name should have a staying power. That means it should not get out of date, for example Lux, Coca-Cola, Nirma, etc. Then the brand name should be sufficiently versatile to accommodate new products which are added to the product line, for example Maggi, Colgate, etc. So these are the few characteristics of a brand name that each and every brand name should have. So to recapitulate, we have done today the product mix and the first element of product mix, that is branding, in which we had discussed few terms related to branding, then the advantages of branding to the marketer as well as to the customers, and the characteristics of a good brand name. In our next lecture, we would be studying the remaining two elements of product mix, that is packaging and labeling. Now, what is packaging? Packaging basically refers to the act of designing and producing the container or a wrapper of a product. For example, generally these toilet soaps come in paper boxes or a plastic wrapper, biscuits come in paper packaging, refrigerators or televisions come in hardwood and board cartons, and expensive perfumes and liquor come in glossy boxes and designer bottles. So this packaging plays a very important role in determining the customer's attitude toward the product. Sometimes by just looking at the packaging of the product, the customer tries to assess the product quality. Good packaging is one of the important factors in the success of products. For example, Maggi noodles, Uncle chips, etc. Now the levels of packaging. We have 3 levels of packaging: primary, secondary and transportation packaging. First of all, the primary packaging. Now primary packaging refers to the product's immediate packing. Now this can come as a one marker question also, that what is known as the immediate container or immediate packing, that is the primary packaging. For example, toothpaste tube. In some cases, the primary packages remain till the consumer is ready to use the product, like plastic packages for socks, package for a bathing soap, etc. But in some cases, it is kept throughout the life of a product, like toothpaste tube, matchbox, shaving gel, etc. As you can see here in the picture also, that the tube of the toothpaste is the primary packaging. Secondary packaging is the additional layer of protection till the product is used. As you can see in the picture, that is the cardboard box for the toothpaste. And the transportation packaging, that is the further packing component necessary for storage that protects the good in the process of storage and transportation. For example, corrugated boxes are used to transport these toothpaste, as you can see in the diagram. So we sum up, we can say that there are 3 levels of packaging. First is the primary packaging, which is the immediate container, and it is the important and necessary and mandatory packaging. Then second is your secondary packaging, which is the additional layer of protection that is given to the product. Now the secondary packaging is generally thrown when the consumer begins to use this product, and this type of packaging is also not necessary also. Then the third is transportation packaging, which is the further packaging used to protect the goods in the process of storage and transportation. Importance and functions of packaging. So first we'll discuss the importance of packaging. First importance of packaging is rising standards of health and sanitation. Now, due to this high standards of living, people have become more conscious about health and sanitation. So they prefer to buy packed goods over loose goods, as there are less chances of adulteration in packed products. So this is because of this rising standards of health that nowadays we are moving and we are basically preferring the goods that are properly packed. Second is self-service outlets. So in self-service outlets, packaging plays a very important role by performing many of the sales tasks, attract attention, tell the product features, and make a favorable overall impression. Now this attractive, colorful and innovative packaging attracts the customers to purchase the product. So the traditional role assigned to the personal selling with respect to promotion has gone to packaging. Therefore, the packaging is now considered as the silent salesman. Now this can come as a question also, that why packaging is, or nowadays packaging is considered as the silent salesman. Justify your answer. So you have to give the importance of packaging. Then third importance of packaging is innovational opportunities. Now we know that innovation is very important. So by developing innovative packages, the marketer can capture new customer segment. For example, like we can see that family pack of Pepsodent is there, Maggi 4-in-1 or 6-in-1, etc. It increases the sale. Even now milk can be stored for 4 to 5 days in the recently developed packing material that nowadays they are coming in the Tetra packs. So children, innovational opportunities are there in packaging, which is basically increasing the importance of packaging. Fourth is product differentiation. Now we can easily differentiate the product with the help of packaging. The color, size, material, etc. of package makes real difference in the mind of customers about the quality of the product. So just by looking at the packaging, a customer can make a difference in perception of about the quality of the product, that what kind of quality is there in that particular product. Functions of packaging. Now we will be discussing few functions of packaging. The first function of packaging is product identification. Now through the packaging, we can easily identify the product, like let's say Vanish is pink, Tide is orange, Colgate is red. Then through this Taj Mahal tea can be easily identified from its packaging. So the first function of packaging is that we can easily identify the products. Second is product protection. Now a good package protects the product from damage during transportation, storage and distribution. It also saves the product from breakage, spoilage, leakage, pilferage, sun, rain, moisture, insects, etc. For example, a petrol is packed in airtight containers for any loss of the product due to the vaporing effect. Then third is facilitating use of the product. Now this packaging helps to facilitate or to easily handle the products and the uses of the product. If certain handling precautions are required, these can also be mentioned on the package. For example, glass handled with care. Moreover, this packaging is a must for many of the goods like edible oil, ghee, butter, etc. For example, let's take an example. A Tetra pack of Fruity provides convenience in drinking, storing and transportation. The PET bottles of Pepsi and Coke make the carriage and stocking easier. So these are the few. So the packaging basically provides the facilities so that we can use them easily, we can handle them conveniently. Fourth is product promotion. As we have already discussed in the importance of packaging, that packaging is a silent salesman. It helps to increase the sales. It makes the product attractive and induce customers to buy it. Packaged goods are highly suitable for the self-service stores also. Next element of product mix is labeling. Now labeling is concerned with designing the label to be put on the package. It is attached to the product. It helps in identification of the product and communicating with the potential buyer and promoting the sales of the products. It provides necessary information to the consumers. It may be a simple tag attached to a product or complex graphic that are a part of the package. As you can see in this slide also, that the packaging on the labeling of Pepsodent is given, that the cover, the cardboard box is the packaging, but whatever information is written on that packaging is known as your labeling. That means we are providing each and every information that is required by the customer, that is the brand name, then the flavor, the contents, the ingredients, MRP, all these things are mentioned on the package. Now this can be a simple tag also, like we see in the garments, like there is no labeling on the product. We cannot label the garments, but we can simply put a tag attached to that particular garment, and on that tag we can write down the details of the product that is necessary for the consumer to be aware of. Now the functions of labeling. We will be discussing few functions of labeling. First is describe the products and specify its content. Now this labeling enables a manufacturer to give complete information about the product, such as instructions for proper use of the product, date of manufacturing, expiry date, price, content, etc. to the customers. And how this can be possible if we are writing all the information that is required to be given to the customers with the help of labeling. For example, we all are using, or we all are aware of the product Maggi, and we can see that on the package of a Maggi the procedure for cooking the noodles are given. Then second is identification of the product or brand. Now this labeling helps in identification of the product from the various products available in the market. For example, one can easily identify Cadbury chocolate from the various chocolates available in the market. So this labeling helps in identifying the brands and differentiating it with the other brands of the competitors. Then grading of the products. Now we can simply categorize the products on the basis of the features, quality, etc. Let's take an example of a shampoo. Like the shampoo comes in various categories, like the shampoo for the dry hair, for oily hair, for normal hair. So all this can be done with the help of labeling. Then helps in promotion of product. A careful design label can attract attention of the customer and stimulate them to buy the product. Many label provides promotional messages also, like 50% off, buy one get one free, extra 40%. So all these, a free gift inside. So all these help in the promotion of the product. Last is providing information required by the law. Now some products require statutory warnings to be mentioned on the label or on the package of that particular product. So that can be done with the help of labeling. For example, the statutory warning on the packet of the cigarettes, like cigarette smoking is injurious to health, on the product of pan masala, chewing tobacco is injurious to health. So these kind of warnings are also to be mentioned, and this can happen with the help of labeling. So the functions of labeling are: describe the product and specify its content. It helps in identification of the product or a brand. Then it helps in grading of products, promotion of products, and providing information required by the law.